reader now.
Yay!
That's one definition of life. You get busy.
Sounds about right.
Too true.
All I can pretty much say is, geez, Knights really took it really badly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
This is,
I have no idea what's going on, but okay.
And Rial's little dark sense of humor.
Oh, and just
To
as a
say the
note,
least.
we have another voice with us today. She might be popping in and out.
Hi, everybody. It's
And
Raptor.
Wolf Pup.
You'll know me from my storyboard sketch account on YouTube. I run a different dub, but that's not for now or later.
she's our guest. She's our guest listener and maybe reader.
What? What?
You get to listen in.
Yep.
Yay!
You guys literally dragged me from reading one thing to drag me into reading another thing.
It wasn't planned.
Pretty much.
And our
Pretty much.
surprising guest appearance, Wolf Pup.
I think it's
It's
9404 or
It's storyboard
9409.
sketch now, guys, but
Oh, okay.
Storyboard
on
sketch.
But since I don't have a certain core thing on DeviantArt, that's how most people know me. But on Tumblr and here on YouTube, everybody knows me as Storyboard Sketch, and I finally have the means to actually post my storyboards. So yay!
Yay!
Oh,
Do you guys want to do a bit of a recap? Just a slight recap?
Please?
Yeah, I may not really remember it fully, but I might remember some.
Basically, what happened was Knights was kidnapped or captured, whichever definition you wish to prefer.
Yeah.
He was taken by Riala, and Riala put him into this machine that, in the process of...
It was basically straight from the second time U2 appears.
Yeah, basically, Knights didn't enjoy that. He was basically being electrocuted alive as he was being used as a means to calibrate the machine to open portals to the real world, so that the Nightmarans can invade the waking world, like, aliens or something.
And our heroes gather together to rescue Knights, and they manage to break him free. But Knights is in rough shape.
I would love to
Will
ramble
he
off.
live? Will he die? Will they be able to stop the Nightmarans the next time on Knights?
God.
That-
Yeah, I made a roasted night.
He said.
Thank you.
He
I
said
so want to
barbecue.
ramble about how I think
Barbecue
Nightmarans work, but I'm not going to because I know you guys have to read this. I can save that for later.
Yeah, let's save that for, afterwards.
It'll be a theory.
Yes. Now that we're all
Okay.
established, shall we pretty much continue? But or should we get started? And who is the first to be the narrator? Because we all don't want to fight for who's gonna be narrator.
I'll leave y'all be until you're done, okay? Let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, Ree gets first pick, and if she needs to take a break or is having trouble reading, she'll let us know, and we can take over the sentence for her.
Dang
Yeah,
It's
you!
dates, guys. Let me know when you're done.
Yep.
Yes.
Read, when you do want somebody else to read, either say their name or say somebody else read.
Yeah, so you get to pick who goes to read the next part if you're having trouble.
Well, I like to take turns, yes.
Yeah, so you can basically pass the baton to whoever you want to for that sentence. So
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
I'll read the first one, and I think
Yep.
Rose or Jackie would take it.
Well, just start reading and we'll go from there. We've already got very long intro as it is.
Let's
Okay.
do this, shall we?
Yep.
The sounds of many footsteps echo through the
Void.
void of the throne room. A heavy,
Decorated.
Heavily.
decorated,
Mhm.
the
Victorian.
Victorian dress spider came to stand in front of her cradle, bowing before speaking.
Master Weissman.
Uttered Queen Bella.
The portals have been activated.
You know, it makes her sound like a snake more than a spider.
I'm trying to go Black Arachnia here!
Oh, sorry.
I see. Rihanna has done well.
Came the voice of the King of Nightmare. One of his hands floated closer to the nightmare and the spider.
Tell me, Queen Bella, why are you presenting this information? Where is Rihanna?
Even though it was a question, the dark being said it more in an accusing statement.
I got this one. Somebody else?
I could do it.
Anybody want? Okay.
Queen Bella grew frightened, but stayed very still, her eyes not moving from the ground.
Forgive me, Master Wiseman. I came to ask for further instructions you have for your minions. I do not know where General Riella is.
Wiseman was silent, knowing Queen Bella was telling the truth. Unlike the Jesters, he restricted her free will, along with all the other second-level Nightmarans that he created after Jackal. The hand floating before Queen Bella came closer, its eyes seemingly piercing through her very being.
Inform my creations that they are to proceed with the invasion of the waking world. When you find Rihanna, notify him to return to me to explain his absence.
It shall be done, Master Wiseman.
Queen Bella said quietly. How was that for a menacing narration from me?
You guys can hear me okay, right? I wasn't sure about
I
that.
finally
Yes.
got to do my Wiseman voice.
Yes!
You're welcome!
Yes!
I put that in just for you.
Ooh, that is so good.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Do you want me to
Okay.
take over or somebody else?
Ree, you are the
Ree, you
designated
got it.
driver.
Well, I want people. I want to ask people before.
Yes,
Before
does
taking
anybody
it
else
away.
want to? Does anybody else want to? Because I already had my fair share. Who else wants to give it a go?
I can't.
You don't want to?
No, a lot of our characters are going to be talking. So
Okay.
Okay.
Then I
got
guess
this.
wait. Who else is going to be in this? So I will
You know what?
have a
You
heads
know what?
up.
I can take the first two paragraphs. Let's go with that. I'll take the first two paragraphs. Here we go.
Okay, because they're long.
It took a while, but after navigating back through Delight City and avoiding the many Awakers, the Dreamers finally made it back to the Dream Gate. Xavier and Elliot gently set Knights on the grass beside the lake on the first level. The purple jester's face was ashen. Most of his body was covered in severe burns, and dark circles were forming under his eyes. They could faintly hear gasping breaths coming from his gaping mouth, a human reaction to agonizing pain.
Okay, I got this. Kneeling beside the unconscious jester, Xavier turned to look at the others.
He's in really bad shape, guys.
Helen hugged Chloe.
Oh no, you're Helen. You're Helen. I'll read that for you.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Helen hugged Clarice, scared for her jester friend.
What do we do?
She began to cry.
here we go.
Will was fighting back his own tears, trying to be strong for his friends. Owl sat beside his fellow dream being, a sorrowful expression on his face.
Oh, Knights.
He looked upon all the wounds marring the jester's form.
Hang in there, old friend. Should we try taking off the burnt clothes?
Asked Molly in a small voice. trying to keep herself and everyone else around her calm with something to do.
I am afraid that cannot be done.
Al gently told her, not wishing to upset her more than she already was.
He's right.
Added Elliot
quietly.
Knight's clothes are part of his body. We might do more harm than good by removing them.
Okay, that sounds like the equivalency of, I don't know, a reptile's skin. That just feels like that.
It's kind of hard to compare with that, but they're technically their clothes, but they're technically part of him. It's kind of, it's like gas.
It's dream logic. It's dream logic.
No comment.
Okay, who wants? Ray, do you want to get the?
But we have to do something.
I got this. Molly thought for a moment before quickly taking off the jacket she had comes to Nighttopian Lauren.
Take off your jackets and overshirts. All of you.
I'm sorry. I can't read that word.
Confused.
The other slowly
obeyed
the demand of their friend's mother, who took the clothes and proceeded to soak them in the cool, clear water of the lake beside them.
Anybody else want to get this?
I got
a lot more dialogue.
I got it. I got to do it.
Okay.
After wringing them out, she tenderly placed the now cold and damp articles of clothing on Knight's various wounds. The unconscious jester appeared to gasp a little harder in reaction, but did not waken.
Elliot realized what she was doing and knelt down together with Clarice to help her.
I get it. If we remove his I got myself tongue twisted there, I'm sorry. If we cannot remove his burnt clothing, we will have to treat it as if it's skin.
Especially since he's part human now.
Let's get it.
Said Claire is being careful as she set a damp shirt on the particularly bad burn.
Who knows what else?
She fell silent, not wishing to continue that thought. The three adults sat back to inspect their work when they were done.
Anybody want to get this one?
I'll take it. I've taken way too much. I've taken way too much.
Hi.
Hello. You want to take this one?
I guess I'm still just hanging out, but okay.
Dragon, use your mouse and show us where we are.
Right here.
Yes, I see it.
Right here. Right here.
I haven't done any vocal warm-ups, but I guess I can.
That's okay.
No, you're just reading.
Yeah.
Alright. Molly looked ready to burst into tears as she watched the jester, and placed her hand ever so softly onto her son's cheek. Xavier, still in his kneeling position, noticed the shard in Knight's chest. The hideous shard was dim. It lacked the brilliance and color it usually had. Xavier's face paled.
Oh no.
He glanced around at the others.
Guys, Knight's shard of courage is dim.
What does that mean?
Okay. Ray,
if you guys want me to keep going like this, I can.
It's up to Ray because she's the designated narrator.
I could take this. Molly asked, looking up at her brother with worried.
It not only gave him the courage to be free of Wiseman, Molly, it merged with him, with the very core of his being. It is permanently a part of him, and right now, it's very dim. Knight's is barely alive.
So is that like Knight's heart or something?
More of a meter, I would say.
Okay. I actually do know this lore. Okay.
Hmm.
So the piece that he has, the idiot shard that he has, is from the first human that he ever helped.
And in our story, that is Xavier.
There you go. So yes, it is kind of like his heart in a way.
Yes, I got it right.
Okay.
Sorry, I try to be as close to canon as I can.
Well, at least it's not. Well, at least it's not a passerby like in the comic.
Well, running a Knights blog for the past 5 years, I've done a lot of research and a lot of theorizing.
Yeah, you'll have fun.
He's pretty popular.
Okay, we are right at Xavier's shoulders.
Am I reading now, or is Ray?
I got this one. Xavier's soul is beginning to slake. His guilt returning.
The waking world is in danger. It's all my fault.
Molly, watch this. I can't read that.
I got this if it's hard.
Watch this, her brother. Her own tears.
Threatening.
Threatening to fall.
Xavier.
I know you said you would never blame me.
Her brother cut her off.
But that won't stop the regret. The shame. It's all my...
He himself was he was cut off as he suddenly felt his sister embrace him in a tight hug.
Oh.
You need to hug everybody. Hug him. Hug him.
At least he's not in
real
his
talk?
robot form, so I'll be okay.
Okay, but real talk, siblings never apologize.
Well, she's like an older adult now, and he's been a robot stranded in the night dimension for 30 years.
So
Point
she's
taken.
she's
I
had
have read
time
this
to
before.
mature at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Ree, are you good?
I'm good. Somebody else can read.
Okay. Okay. The siblings were soon joined by Will and Helen, the two young dreamers needing comfort as well as giving it. Ellie and Claire's complete the group hug as they knelt down to give support to their friends.
Anybody else?
I'll
I
do
can
this
keep going
one.
from here if you want, because this part's kind of long.
Huh,
Yeah.
Well, story. Do
Actually,
you
there
wanna do
is a lot of... After that line there is a lot of...
Narration.
Yes.
Okay,
So,
I got this. And please call me Raptor.
Okay.
okay. Okay.
Owl
Raptor.
watched from beside Knights, wishing that he could heal his wounded friend and stop all this madness, even if it meant losing all of his vast knowledge to do so. With a sigh, he slowly walked over to the group, spreading his wings to help console the humans he had grown quite fond of. For the first time in 30 years, Xavier wept, his tears sparkling as they fell to the grass-covered ground.
So sorry, Knights. So sorry.
The others did their best to comfort him as well as each other, shedding their own tears filled with turmoil. They had done all they could for Knights, and the painful game of waiting began.
Everyone hug Xavier, please.
Honestly, I don't want to
Everybody
get
take a
crushed, so
breath.
I'm just being on the sideline. Seriously.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we can kind of take turns. Ray still gets to pick. So if she doesn't want to
This
read
is
the
a
part,
lot
she
of
can.
narration here with a little bit of Riala's voice.
So
Finally.
she gets to pick. So
Oh.
she wants Raptor to do it.
Oh, so you finally want me to show up? Well then,
No.
just give me my cue.
Shush, anger jester.
I'm gonna hang around with Ashley, that's okay. Well, I'll be hanging around with Ashley, girl.
Okay.
Just let me know.
Oh, burn! Yeah.
Well, at least I'm not a hunk of junk. At least I don't need oil.
I beg your pardon. I've never had to have oil.
Guys,
Dream logic.
stop fighting. Okay.
Oh boy.
First
It's just-
Okay, where's it to go?
Riala cursed under his breath, slowly pulling himself out of the rubble. After Xavier had sabotaged apparently I can't talk right now.
It's okay.
I was on a roll. After Xavier had sabotaged the tower's primary controls, Riella had made an attempt to keep the tower from ripping itself apart with its own power. Realizing that there was nothing he could do, he had tried to escape from within the collapsing structure, only to be trapped inside.
What the next one? I forgot.
I got this.
Ash.
Luckily, the Nightmare in general could survive explosions from large orbs of unstable energy. Yeah! Suck on that, Shadow!
And vacuums.
And the vacuums of miniature black holes. So a building falling on top of him was, as the dreamers say, a walk in the park. 'Tis but a scratch. It still hurt though. So it wasn't something he would want to experience again anytime soon.
Riella finally got himself free of the ruins of the tower. After inspecting himself for any serious injuries, the Red Jester looked around to find that all the other nightmares had fled. He felt a twinge of disappointment, then irritation.
Cowards.
I got this one. Yeah. Groaned under his breath.
Growled.
Growled. Okay. Wait, that was. Realizing?
Oh, you got it.
Okay. Realizing that
Subordinates!
the subordinate, thank you, Ashley, had probably left without even trying to
Pursue.
I can do that horse. Pursued the dreamers after they have rescued Knight and ruined his plans!
Dude, let her
Stop.
I'm an impatient dragon!
Okay. Do you want me to give you a treasure for you to wait for me?
No, I'm
Okay.
basically in my head.
Can I read now?
Yes!
Yeah, go ahead.
He turned his gaze upward to look at the portal sitting ominously in the sky. Well, at least they tried to ruin his plans. Why do I suddenly have such dread? Just the narrator just, oh, frick.
Okay. You want me to read this?
Yeah, because that's basically Riella kind of thinking to
Alright.
himself.
Xavier's words. Okay. You want me to get Riala's sexy narration voice here? I can get him for that.
No.
What? What? Should I not?
Do it then.
Okay. Xavier's voice suddenly came back to haunt the Red Jester. What did he mean by that? What could he have done to him? Riel didn't remember anything happening that could make any sense of those words. Being nice, treating his wounds, showing mercy, those actions meant nothing to the nightmare in general. The more he tried to figure it out, the more unsettled and the more frightened he became.
I got this one.
Yes.
Sorry, I can't.
Are you okay? Do you need a break?
Are you okay?
Raptor's
Okay,
broken.
I got
Give
this
me a
one.
minute.
Okay, I got.
Okay.
Wow, Riella, I think you made her faint.
What? From my
No,
my
still
narration.
conscious. Just can't breathe. Oh,
I'm rather surprised.
Holy frick.
I didn't think I could make anyone faint with just the sound of my voice.
Oh, God.
I told you she was good.
Okay, Ree's
Okay.
got the night speaky bits since Dragon can't talk to herself.
I'll do this part. I'll do this part, and she can do the next few short parts.
Okay.
In fearful frustration, Riella slashed the crumbling wall beside him.
What did you do?
He shouted to the air. Ready?
Silence was only answer. Leah growled. clenches his fist. Okay, a thought was a code to him. What if Xavier was bluffing? Anybody else?
I got it. I haven't got to do
Okay,
anything
go
in a
ahead.
while.
Go ahead.
That made sense. That freak could have said that to catch him off guard, to psych him out so that the dreamers could free Knights. And it worked. Xavier played him like a fiddle.
Outraged, Riel let out a roar as he saw another piece of debris, and one more to vent the rest of his anger.
Okay.
Y'all be loud.
Sorry.
Sorry.
They did say growl and such, so I gave them what they needed.
Reed, you want to still do this big part, or?
Does anybody want to take
I
this one?
can do it.
I think
Or someone else?
No,
Raptor?
Riel's not speaking here. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Riella.
the
That's
raptor can
fine.
continue if you want. That way you guys don't have to worry about narration. Unless somebody
Yeah.
actually wants to do it.
Actually, why don't we just bounce it between Ree and Raptor? Just bounce it between Ree and Raptor. That way we're not discussing this.
Makes sense
Yes,
to me.
because this is a back and forth banter.
Truth.
But banter's fun.
We
Depends
can
on
do
the characters,
banter
the
as
banter is different.
reactions.
Okie dokie. Are we moving on?
Yes.
Yes.
Go,
Okay, let the
Raptor.
lizard talk. For perhaps the first time in his life, the nightmare in general was torn. He was glad for the isolation, that brief lack of composure, but he also felt loneliness, which could most likely be due to his twin no longer being alive. Knights had been around for as long as he himself was alive, and now that he was gone, Riella pushed those thoughts aside, realizing that Xavier's words had affected him more than he thought.
Now it's up to Reed.
Like I said, Xavier couldn't really do anything to him. Not as a robot, and currently not as a human. He had reached out over nothing. I can't read the word.
Usually.
Usually, Ria was the one to get under people's skin, not the other way around.
Xavier was going to pay, and pay dearly. I love that. Nice timing.
Pay dearly.
Okay. Okay. Ria floated into the air, brushing himself off. I can't read the word.
Glanced.
Glanced up at the portal above him, perhaps in exchange
Exchange.
Yes.
for taking out
Taking
taken
out the
out.
tower.
for taking out the tower and I
Humiliating.
can't read that. Humiliating
Shush.
him again. He could take out the dreamers, all of them, in their sleep.
I'm going Freddy Krueger on their sorry behinds.
A dark, fanged grin appeared on his face at the thought.
Waking up won't save you now. 1, 2, Riel is coming.
Okay, guys,
for
give me
you.
1 second.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Okay.
Okay, want me to read now, or you want
Go
to breathe still?
You can read that last sentence, and then we have basically a time skip.
Yes.
Okay. The red jester laughed, flew higher into the air, and shot through the large portal into the walking world.
Wait,
Waking road.
world.
Ah!
Ooh. That?
Go.
1, 2, 3. The dreamers watched overnight very carefully, but none more so than Molly. Holding one of his hands in hers, she watched each rise and fall of his chest, his human
Instincts.
instincts taking over. In his
Critical.
critical state, she squeezes his hands to try
Reassure.
and reassure him of her
Presence.
presence as well as himself.
Herself.
Xavier, meanwhile, was trying to wake himself up, so he could see about getting Knights to a hospital. Unfortunately, as if in some cruel twist of fate, when Xavier tried to wake up using a waker earlier, it did nothing. Now he sat on the edge of the fountain, trying to focus his mind into consciousness. If Xavier could open his portals again, he could see any human doctors might be able to help stabilize Knights.
The dreamers have come up with this idea a little while ago. It wasn't much, but it was all they could think of to do. Owl
Gazed.
gazed down at the
Sadden?
saddened visitors from his perch in a tree.
Please, Knights, for their sakes, don't give up.
1, 2, 3. Every so often, Louise and Helen would work together to re-wet the clothes and reapply them. Reapply them to the bones when they start to dry out.
Elliot and Will, with nothing better to do, would regularly check Knight's breathing themselves, and monitored for any signs of him getting better or worse. The two boys knew they couldn't really do anything more to help, but the routine kept their minds from spiraling into panic. The Dreamers had tried discussing what to do about the portals, why they stayed open, and how to stop the invasion, but it only gave them more questions than answers. They finally stopped talking about it after Clarice stated that they should tackle one thing at a time for now.
At one point, Elliot gave a sigh as he did another check on his unconscious friend.
I wish there was more we could do. Me too.
Will agreed quietly.
After what
Felt
felt like ages, Xavier finally begins to fade. He looks at Molly and tries to give her a reassuring smile.
I'll be right back.
Molly watches him disappear with her
bleeding
eyes.
Hurry, please.
Okay, can we pause for a second? Because I have to say something.
Okay. And commence.
Who's reading?
Wasn't it clear that Ree was going to? I'm just saying.
Okay.
Sorry, human error.
Okay, gotcha.
Static in the background.
Here, let me just do this.
Oh boy, hang on a sec, people. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Diana
woke up with a
start.
that teacup. The teacup filling from his hand, falling from his hand to the carpet floor. He held his head.
What happened?
You want me to read this?
I got it.
Okay.
I can do it. He glanced down at himself, observing the light of the afternoon sun coming through a window to bring out the shine of his metallic armor.
He suddenly stood up.
Knights!
Okay, I got this one?
Yep. Go ahead!
Okay. He remembered in a rush what happened in his dreams. In the night dimension, there wasn't any time to waste. He has to get back to the others. Diana noticed the reflection of glass on a
That's mine, actually.
Go ahead.
Dianella noticed the reflection of glass on a portrait nearby. Quickly floating over to it, he tried to activate his warping ability. It didn't work the first few times, but then suddenly sputtered to life before flickering out again, making Dianella wince.
Okay, do you really have, like, a zapfish right by you? Because I can clearly hear it. God,
The what?
that buzzing noise, it's back!
1 second.
Okay, it's Ree's part anyway with those little bits
Hold
there.
Hold on. Wah. Okay, there we go.
Warg.
All right. Sorry about that.
Ready.
How do you... Okay, he growled.
Come on, you stupid thing! Work!
He tried again. I can read that first.
Enduring.
Enjoying the pain and pushing through it.
I hope that's better.
Yes, that's better. No buzzing.
Okay, this is my old headset. Okay. A portal finally opened. Dianella gave a shout in triumph before flying through. The metallic jester emerged within the night dimension and swiftly made his way to the dream gate, his eyes glowing a fierce blue in reaction to his persevering.
The dreamer
quickly get to their feet when he arrived.
We have to hurry. He isn't looking too good,
said Elliot.
Said. Ashley, you want to get this one?
Dianella nodded and gently scooped Knights up into his arms, keeping the injured jester as comfortable as he could.
Where should I go?
He asked as Molly replaced the clothing on the wounds, making sure to tie them in place this time with torn pieces of her own jacket so they wouldn't fall off.
With the Nightmarans invading the waking world, it's too dangerous to risk going to one of the bigger hospitals. They could easily find him and finish their job.
Elliot answered. Claire stood a moment, then nodded.
There's a small emergency center near the park, by the school. Johnson Medical. It's a tan 2-story building. They usually take overflow for the main hospitals. Get Knights to that place. We'll meet you there.
Dianella nodded, cradling his fragile nephew close to his chest plate.
All right. Wake up as soon as you can.
He floated towards the lake to create a portal. I wish to go with you,
called Owl, coming to stand by the lake edge.
Who's howling again?
Riaz!
Okay. But, Owl, you're still hurt.
Helen pointed out.
It might be safer for you. It might be safer for you in the Nighttopian playground.
No, I insist.
Owl
stated.
Owl stated, and without another word, flew
clumsily
into one of the Dianella's arms,
securing
the grip.
Give her a chance, Katie. Jeez.
Grip of his talons on the metal. Just so he wouldn't fall off.
You want me to do this?
Yes.
Okay,
please.
Okay.
Let's give her a moment, guys. Let's go.
Dianella, knowing there wasn't a time to argue, flew through the newly formed portal in the lake, emerging once more from the lake in the park within the waking world. He quickly floated into the trees to keep from being seen. That is when he noticed the lack of people. A gasp from the bird on his arm caught his attention, and he followed Owl's gaze to the giant, intimidating red ring in the sky, a portal to the night dimension.
Is it weird that I'm reminded of Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum with the rings?
Holy frick, you're right.
Yeah, that's literally what it feels like.
I knew I did something
So
weird.
you want
Okay, ready? Ready?
you want me to take it?
Yes, Ree, you got it. You want to take it? You take it.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Diana looked back down at night.
We need to keep moving.
He flew through the trees. He flew to sorry. He flew through the trees to one of the
Exits.
exits of the park.
Help me look for the hospital out. 10, 2 floors, named Johnson Medical. Might even have a red cross or blue scepter on it.
Right.
I would agree, moving his head to look around as the middle gesture made so not to run into anything or anyone. Every so often they would hear
Indistinct.
Indistinct sounds.
Coming from further into the city.
I hope the place is still open, even in this chaos.
Uttered the middle jester.
Anybody?
Alright, I got it. Owl was about to ask about the absence of people when he spotted the building they were looking for.
Oh, Xavier, I found it!
He pointed at it once Dianella turned to acknowledge him.
Good job, Al.
Send the metallic jester flying towards it, quickly getting inside. Dianella rushed to where a woman sat behind the front desk.
Please, I need a doctor, now!
And this one's mine, because it's practically a paragraph.
Yep.
The jaw of the secretary dropped in surprise as she stared at the sight of a large, floating android jester who stared back with desperation in his electric blue eyes. A critically injured purple jester covered in wet clothes held protectively in his arms, and a well-dressed owl with glasses on its beak sitting on one of the metal jester's arms. Well, this isn't definitely like Sonic Comics at all, is it?
Ha!
I'm just picturing a ridiculous day for Shard.
What?
Okay, ready?
Day in the life of Sega.
Ready?
Yep, we're ready.
Okay.
Go.
He recognized the two jesters from the news, but was too shocked at actually seeing them to move.
A whimper from the severely burnt jester had her in motion again. The secretary looked behind her.
I got it. I can say that squeaky bit. We need a stretcher for a critical patient. Stat!
A man, possibly a doctor by his attire, came out through the... Can you not while I'm reading?
Sorry! Making sure.
A man, possibly a doctor by his attire, came out through the nearly double doors with a stretcher almost immediately. He froze upon seeing Dianella approaching him, along with two nurses who followed him out. Ignoring the stares, the metallic jester placed his nephew gently on the stretcher with the most care.
Please,
He looked up at the humans.
I know you at least partially know who I am. But I ask that you do what you can to save my nephew.
We will explain what we can to you, humans.
Al spoke up as he carefully hopped into the stretcher. Hopped into the stretcher beside Knight. I can read that word.
Startling.
Startling the poor doctor noses and I can read that word.
Secretary.
But right now, our friend is in great need of treatment.
Before we continue, who wants to be a doctor?
Oh God! I was already the random. I was really Sonic's voice actor in one of them, so I guess I could try.
The best I can do is a pretty bad New York impression because everybody asked me to do it when I voiced Bendy for comics.
Do we have Bendy for our doctor?
Then
Okay,
Dr. Bendy.
Dr. Bendy.
Let's do that.
No, what? Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
You got the not speaky bit, of course.
Go ahead.
The doctor removed. The doctor recovered first. Iron,
Eyeing.
the robot, and talking about before he. I can't read that word.
Skeptically.
Yeah, he's basically kind of looking at them like he's not really sure what he's looking at.
Okay.
Ready,
Right.
Dr. Bendy?
Right. How do I know this isn't an alien trick? Shut up.
It's
Ow.
canon now.
Owl, I can't read that word.
Stared.
Stared at him.
Dumbfounded.
Dumbfounded.
I beg you.
Diana set
Firm.
firm hand on Owl's shoulder, then looked back up at the doctor.
I cannot prove to you that we are sincere except by our actions. You will have to trust us, just as we are trusting you.
Answered the
Metallic gesture.
metallic gesture in a soft voice. He looked down and to the doctor's sock.
Titan.
Titan of a gesture before him. Slowly got on his knees before looking up at the humans again.
Please, I'm willing to beg if I have to. I will do anything you ask of me. But please don't let Knights perish.
The human stared at the dream beings for several moments. Then the doctor spoke.
Either you are all great actors, or you're telling the truth. Shut
That's
up.
That's good acting.
I love it so much.
Why is it so funny? I'm just doing a very bad New York accent.
It's okay.
It's awesome. I love it.
Yay!
You're good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
you guys-
Can I read this now? Can I read some now?
Yes.
Yes, it's gonna be the doctor talking anyway, so Raptor can't read that part.
Yay! Okay. He hesitantly brought Dinella back up to his feet, seeming to marvel at the being before him before speaking again.
We will be willing to help your friend. Or at least try our best.
Thank you.
Uttered Dinella. He looked at the four humans.
As thanks, I'll stand guard here and protect this building and anyone inside it from the Nightmares currently invading this world. I will also be willing to answer any questions you may have.
As will I. Humans within reason, of course.
And an owl.
But right now, Knights needs your immediate attention, sir.
Anybody?
I can't talk, I'm sorry.
The
Up to you, Ree.
Raptor, take this one.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure who you said there. Okay. The doctor
Raptor.
nodded. And
I can't,
started...
I'm talking the next line.
We're only making this chapter long than it already needs to be.
Don't worry, this section's almost over. You can see the line.
Good.
We're almost there, guys.
Alrighty.
Keep going.
The doctor nodded and started giving the nurses instructions. One nurse went to pick up Owl from the stretcher, but the old bird shielded away from her hands.
Shied.
Shied.
Please,
It spelled funny.
please, mademoiselle. I would prefer to stay by his side.
Okay, I got this one. The doctor, I can read that word.
Glanced.
Glanced down at Owl.
I cannot have you beside the patient while we work, sir. But I can allow you to be in the same room. But only if you stay out of the way.
Owl
Don't
sighed.
leave me alone! I hear fingers.
All
Don't
right.
be mean.
No, I'm enjoying it. That's why this is me trying not to laugh at it.
Yeah.
You can pass me with Bendy comics later, but right now, focus.
Right. Anywho. All right. I agree to those terms.
Then the nose again
Proceeded.
proceeded to pick Owl up, which he allowed this time. The old bull
Gazed.
gazed down his injured friend as the doctor and the nurses
Prepared.
prepared to move the jester to an exam room.
It will be all right, knights. Diana watched as a group of
physicians
swiftly move the stretcher as one. Going back through the double doors, the room became very quiet in their absence. Only then did Dinella notice the other humans within the waiting room. Other patients, their family members, and even a few police officers all staring at him.
Can I just say how funny it is that the police officers just stood there this entire time?
Yeah, they did nothing.
They had no idea what to do.
Seriously, they got nothing. They got nothing.
There's no code for this.
Yeah.
At least it's not like with gun where they would shoot immediately.
They're in a hospital. I think they take that away from them.
Ha! Yeah, true.
Okay.
Anyways.
Okay,
Ready?
I got this one. One of the humans spoke.
I hope your Nancy gets better.
Yeah.
There were a few small nods in a. I can read that first.
Agreement.
Agreement. Okay. Somebody else read.
Alright, I'll do
Okay.
it. So now that I'm done using my bendy voice for a minute. A bit surprised by the kindness, Dianola gave a half-hearted smile.
Yeah, me too.
He looked around, flitting over to stand by a pillar so he was not as easily seen from outside the building, then let his gaze fall back on the patient who spoke.
I'll let you ask the first question.
And
All
there
right.
we go.
Yay!
Done with part one, everybody.
Yeah, well, we'll meet you in part 2.